Looking now at solving harder matrix equations. So this is where you have to use the inverse to help solve the equation. So we're going to solve ax equals c. So we're trying to find x. So if we multiply both sides by the inverse of a, the left-hand side, the inverse of a times a will be the identity matrix. And it's just the same as saying multiply by 1. So x equals the inverse of a times c. So to find x, we'll have to get the inverse of a and then multiply it by c. So let's find the inverse of a. So find the determinant of a first of all. Minus 2 by minus 4 minus 5 by 3. So we get 8 take away 15, which is minus 7. So that means the inverse of a is going to be 1 over the determinant, so 1 over minus 7, or we can write it as minus a seventh. Change around the minus 4 and the minus 2, and change the signs of the 5 and the 3 to minus 5 and minus 3. So then we'll multiply. This is where it brings in your multiplying a matrix by a matrix. So we have a 2 by 2 matrix, the inverse of A, multiplied by C, which is a 2 by 1 matrix. The 2's are the same, so we can multiply, and our answer is going to be a 2 by 1 matrix. So this is where we have just two numbers in the answer. So to get the red one, it's going to be first row by the first column. So that's minus 4 by minus 3 plus minus 5 by 7, and that gives us minus 23 in the top. And then the green box then is going to be the second row first column, so we multiply the second row by the first column. So it's minus 3 by minus 3 plus minus 2 by 7, which gives us minus 5. So we would just leave our answer as minus a seventh upon minus 23 over minus 5. Part B, solve bx equal a. So if we multiply by the inverse of b, on this side here, that'll give the inverse of b times b gives the identity matrix. And remember, the identity matrix is just like multiplying by 1. So x is going to be the inverse of b times a. So let's find the inverse of b. We'll find the determinant of b first of all. So that's 1 by minus 6 minus 2 by 4. So that gives us minus 6 minus 8, which is 2. So our inverse is going to be 1 over 2. And then we change the numbers around. So the minus 6 comes up here, and the 1 goes down here, and we change the sign. So that becomes a 2, and that becomes a minus 4. So x then is the inverse of b times a. So the inverse of b times a. Okay, so back to our matrix multiplication. So our inverse of b is a 2 by 2 matrix, and our a is a 2 by 2 matrix. So the numbers on the inside are the same, so we can multiply it, and the numbers on the outside will tell us that we get a 2 by 2 as our answer. Okay, so our first number is going to be found by saying minus 6 by minus 2 plus 2 by 3, which gives us 18. We'll do the one below then here. So that's going to be in the second row and the first column. So multiply the second row by the first column. So that's minus 4 by minus 2 plus 1 by 3. And that gives us 11. Up to the top here. So that's in the first row, second column. So we're going to multiply the first row by the second column. So that's minus 6 by 5 plus 2 by minus 4. And that gives us minus 38. And our last one down here is in the second row and second column. So we're going to multiply the second row by the second column. So minus 4 by 5 plus 1 by minus 4. And that gives us minus 24. Now it's a half times this, so I would tidy that up a bit, and because a half will go in nice and straightforward to all of them apart from 11, so that'll be 9 minus 19. Right, that one is just 11 over 2 and minus 12.